slams that car into gear. That's this BMW E46 M50 Turbo, 1,000 horsepower, screams through the gears, and you can hear him already spinning wheels as he clutch kicks the car to angle as Espen Rohde now puts it right where it needs to be. This looks good so far from the young Norwegian. Big handbrake drag, he sets himself up nicely for this long outside zone again. Another driver just dropping a wheel over that white line, but then picks up that perfect qualifying line, flicks it to angle, down he goes, big flame erupts from the back of the BMW, a little shy on the inner clip, but across the line he goes. Definitely needs to improve, and he is now so focused. Look at this, the Norwegian style, eyes down, concentration on as he fires that car through. Now it looks good, picks up these two zones, on throttle nicely as he fires in, gets on the handbrake, doesn't slow the car too much though, keeps it into the outside zone but exits it a little early, and that's pushed him wide, and he misses that inner clip as he now fires through. Down he goes into that almost carousel moment, and he's gone wide once again, and the same mistakes being shown once again. Ladies and gentlemen, didn't get to the line for his first qualifying run. They rebuilt a brand new engine to get him out for qualifying. Can this do the job as he fires in the man from Norway? Oh! M50 Turbo, 1,000 horsepower right now as Espen Rohde puts it into use, fires through the middle of the circuit, full of confidence, and he knows he needs to do everything he can as Espen Rohde puts that car right to the edge of the track. A little wobble, but he holds on to it as Espen Rohde flicks that car for the second to last outside zone. He's deep, he tags the wall, takes the tail light. Turbo, 1,000 horsepower, comes off the line. Full-time driver this year in Drift Masters, as he works his way through the gears. Look at that big flick to angle as he gets on it nice and early on the throttle, but it's washed him out ever so slightly, but he gets himself back into the outside zone. Full throttle transition, a little dab of the foot brake. You can see the rear wheels just ever so slightly slow down as he transitions once again, dials on the angle to put the car right where he needs it to be and slow it down. Little handbrake drag there just before that final outside zone. That is the only decel zone on the circuit as he puts his foot to floor and across the line.
Another Norwegian coming out to play. This is, it's cool.
It's turbo as well, 1,000 horsepower. Gets the green light to go as Espen Rohde looks for his second qualifying run. An 84 on the board at the moment. 27th position, he's going to want to improve. He needs to get himself higher up into the show. Espen Rohde dials on the angle, fulfills all of that first outside zone. Nice transition back down, looks for that inside zone and collects it very wide there on that outside zone as he fires back once again on full throttle. Nice line from Espen Rohde as he puts the car right where it needs to be. Wanders a little bit though in that last outside zone. Full throttle, smashes the back bumper into the wall across the line.
Yeah, it all looked really solid.
That, yeah, that Norwegian heritage, you know, on his shoulders right now, but he has all the Finnish fans pushing him along. Does Juha Ritten as they come off the line through the gears as they slam into initiation, side by side. Nice initiation from Juha Ritten, but look at Espen Rohde on the door of Ritten as they transition. He gets himself caught up on the inside. Rohde now trying to get himself back into that pocket, into the zone. Juha Ritten though lets that car adjust, lets it wash into the outside zone as he transitions down to this outside zone, and back on the front wheel goes Espen Rohde. He spins Ritten.
We thought it was a massive advantage. May not actually be there, so a lot of drivers still taking that lead run.
They certainly are. Well, we know these young guns are going to mix it up, that's for sure. They're off through the start line, through the gears. Fourth gear selected as Espen Rohde goes for an early initiation, and Spossop gets into it in that outside zone. Espen Rohde falling down off the outside, now starts to rein in the Polishman as they fire through the outside zones of the circuit, looking to get door to door, and a nice transition back for David Spossop as he puts that S15 right where it needs to be. That 2JZ singing as Espen Rohde now tries to find the door, tries to climb up on the side of the Polishman. Flags are flying across the line.
Amazing way to kick off our top
this weekend's action, and a nice pair of smart trousers on the start line. Here we go, Espen Rohde leading out David Spossop through the gears. Down they come for initiation, looking for a nice clean run for Espen Rohde right now. Now Spossop gets it wrong. He's on the inside as Espen Rohde goes super wide on that first outside zone. But look at Spossop now aggressive, trying to find the door of that BMW E46. They fire through the smoke. Big transition, and look at this, Spossop on the inside of the circuit getting it all wrong as Espen Rohde throws down an absolute masterclass of a lead line out front. Espen Rohde on the wall, Spossop in chase.
Listen,
certainly have. Well, there we go. Looks like we are track clear and ready to send cars. It's going to be Nicolas Bertans to lead out Espen Rohde. Espen Rohde, the lower qualifier, sits in that chase position as Nicolas Bertans now flicks that carbon Kevlar Euro 5 right to the edge of the circuit. He's almost put it into a spin, but he holds on to it as Nicolas Bertans now fires down, tries to get himself back on that qualifying line. Espen Rohde now in the wall, and a replication of Fionn Roche. Nicolas Bertans going to finish out the run same way as Jarkko Jula did. He's going to pull up and see that the young Norwegian buried into the wall. 46, 50 turbo, 1,000 horsepower. haven't seen a lot of this guy so far this weekend in practice, so I'm intrigued to see how he gets on. Nice initiation as Espen Rohde now fires down that first outside zone, picks up the throttle nice and early, stands on it, now works his way on the foot brake, see him front wheel locked up, pushing the back end of that BMW into those outside zones, stalled up on transition but makes it work now. Espen Rohde works his way around outside zone 4, looks for 5 and a nice flick on the throttle. You see the clutch kick there as he picks up the throttle, lights out the tyres, and he looks for a final outside zone across the line.
Let's see if both these cars are able to hold it together as they come out of the box.
Yeah, Espen Rohde from Norway to lead him out of the high qualifier, fires in. Two BMW E46s go head to head right now. Look at that side by side as they fire into that second outside zone. Gediminas not letting Espen Rohde get away as Rohde fires through, looks for outside zone 4, slows that car down a little bit on. Gediminas gets himself out of formation, now has to work to get that E46 back on the door. The E46 again, and notice the headlight towards the door as he now falls into the same angle across the line.
Yeah, there's a little bit of panic there from Gediminas. This is what we talk about where
Gediminas to lead out Espen Rohde. Lithuania versus Norway off and through the gears. A big clutch kick initiation for Gediminas as he puts that car in with a shallow angle. Things looked like he was going to hit the wall. Now starts to dial on the angle as Espen Rohde sees the opportunity to dive onto the side of the E46 and a nice transition into outside zone 4. And look at this from Espen Rohde, diving, taking bites out the side of the E46 BMW. A big clutch kick from both guys as they fire through into outside zone 5. And it's a very wobbly, shaky run from Gediminas out front. The Lithuanian not rock solid.
No, not rock solid. Gets through the run.
The helmet, the punch on the steering wheel of Espen Rohde. They slam the cars into gear. They get the green light. Shanahan leaves the line and moves down the barrel as he fires that car into initiation. Espen Rohde lost a little bit on the initiation. Has to sacrifice the outside zone. Shanahan deep. Look at the line from Jack Shanahan. It's absolutely beautiful as Espen Rohde goes for a dive onto the back bumper of the GTA 6 into outside zone 4. As Espen Rohde now looks for the front wheel. Can he find it? He can't, but he makes a dive through the smoke and he mistimes it ever so slightly. Shanahan opens the throttle once again. Espen Rohde goes for the front wheel and across the line.
Wow, Jack Shanahan, I mean, the best and worst part of
Shanahan starts to creep, and there we go. Both cars pop up into gear and through the gears. They come down for initiation. Shanahan left though in a cloud of smoke as Espen Rohde sticks into the wall. Shanahan now desperately trying to play catch up, and he does as he finds the door of Espen Rohde in outside zone 3. They fire through the smoke, fire towards the wall. Espen Rohde with a brave lead line, but it opens the door for Jack Shanahan as Shanahan squeezes and works his way into the gap as he now puts the GTA 6 right where it needs to be, onto the door, onto the front wheel, across the line.
Well, we might have been worried about tires, but Jack Shanahan sure was not.
They were not worried about tires. It is an H50 turbo only for 1,000 horsepower from this BMW E46 as he slams and works through the gears. This young man, a rising superstar from Norway, as he works that back end of that BMW right where it needs to be, leaves it out of zone a little early, but very close to the wall. I think even he took a little breath of fresh air there as he made his way through it into outside zone 4, in and out of the wall, and a little scrappy there from Espen Rohde as he goes nice and wide for outside zone 5. Now fires the car across the circuit in to outside zone 6 as Espen Rohde hammers the throttle. You can see the back end of that car already flexed up into the air as he works it across the line. Job done for the Norwegian driver.
Another driver, not as bad, struggling through.
He decided it, Jacob, and that's by firing him off the line. And here we go, they're through the gears. It's going to be Peder Viansek to lead out Espen Rohde as Espen Rohde goes for the back bumper of that A90 Supra already. No messing around. The Norwegian has nothing to lose, everything to gain as they come through that inner zone. It's clean from Viansek. The lead line is exceptional as we expected. Espen Rohde loses ground. He has to shallow up the angle. Look at the speed from Peder Viansek as he absolutely fires through. Espen Rohde tags the side of the Supra, but he stays in it. Viansek is on another level right now as he puts it into outside zone 7. Oh, and the car shuts down! And we forget that Espen Rohde yet to have a battle on the circuit. Mika Keski-Korpi off the line and fires in that F22 BMW into that outside zone. Look at Keski-Korpi, he's absolutely dialed in the zone, but Espen Rohde's not letting him get away. These two go for it, absolute titans as they fire into outside zone 4. A little lost ground for Espen Rohde as he now shallows up the angle, looks for the front wheel of that BMW F22. They fire through the centre of the circuit. Espen Rohde still with him as Mika Keski-Korpi makes a massive mistake, finds himself off of that outside zone, but Espen Rohde makes a bigger one. Prove himself in Drift Masters, and another guy that could be fighting for Rookie of the Year 2025. They come off the line and through the gears. They slam into it as Espen Rohde puts that E46 BMW into that first outside zone. Mika Keski now starts to rain on him, starts to look for that rear wheel. They go for the transition back. It's very well timed from both guys. Look at Keski Korpi, absolute beautiful as he puts that car on shallow angle, trying to keep up. The young Norwegian now starts to dial in, starts to mirror the angle. They transition back across the circuit once again as Espen Rohde puts the back bumper along the wall. Mika Keski Korpi holds it together, looks for the wheel, looks for the door, and dials on the angle.
Wow, it's a trust fall you can accept.
It certainly is. Well, they're off the line and through the gears. Shanahan to lead out Espen Rohde. No messing around as he flicks that car into initiation. It's a nice line already for Connor Shanahan. He's got it dialed. Espen Rohde, though, keeping up with him, keeping the front end of that BMW E46 into the door and into the pocket as he flicks that car to angle to outside zone 4. Shanahan almost the whole of that GTA 6 in outside zone 4 as Espen Rohde kicks the clutch and tries to pick up the speed across the circuit, back into it once again on the transition to outside zone 6. The young Norwegian is not going to go down without a fight, that's for sure, as they go bumper to bumper across the line.
I really
this evening as they get off the line. It's Espen Rohde to lead out Connor Shanahan for a spot in the final 4 awaits, and Shanahan would love it nothing more than to be in there. But look at that big separation. Now reins in the Norwegian, holds back ever so slightly. He's a little reserved. Is Shanahan, and then he goes for it. The big dive into outside zone 4, glues it together as he nudges Espen Rohde in that outside zone, just to remind the young gun he's still there, he's still with him as they fire into outside zone 6. Connor Shanahan's transitions don't make any sense. He's not going to give up without a fight, that's for sure, as he puts bumper to wheel across the line.